Welcome to episode 9 of the Hovercraft Origin series. This is a 1956 Ford F100. It's a 1/25th scale kit by Revell. This is the Foose Ford. I think everyone's seen this kit. It's a very cool truck. I've given it some obnoxiously large front and rear fender thrusters. They're massive. Speaking of massive, look at those intakes. Those things can take in an obscene amount of air. It's pretty crazy. I had this front piece in my Gundam inventory, which as you can see is meticulously organized and cataloged. The piece we're looking at is from Gundam Virtue's backpack. It's such a large piece, and it had to be something big in scale that I needed to mount this to. When I got this truck, it had these fat fenders, and I thought, oh yes, the Gundam pieces worked out perfectly. This is a combination of two Gundam pieces. This is the backpack piece, and this piece, the white piece, goes around the back of his foot near his ankle. I combined the two pieces together. I removed about a third of this blue piece. It was a bit too long. There's an older photograph. You can see the piece that I removed, I then put on the back side of the turbine, and then I created the intake grills. So the front of this truck had to be narrowed. The original grill on the truck was as wide as the truck with the fenders on. So it had to be cut in half and narrowed. I then moved the headlights and the turn signals to the outside of the grill. I wanted to make sure that the rear intakes matched the front. I created a similar housing for the intake at the rear, matched it to the front. I made the rear one out of styrene sheet. They're similar, very close. I put two turbines in each of the fender thrusters. These are made from styrene tube. The back thrusters are made from 1/2-inch styrene tube. The front thrusters are made from 3/8 styrene tube. This Gundam piece I mounted inside the wheel well. It fit almost perfectly. It had to be slightly modified, but it sort of matched the look of the front fender thruster. But it made the fender wider. It gave it a little more heft. So they sort of match. They're not completely similar, but you can tell they go to the same truck. You ready to see what's under the hood? Just a bunch of cool looking parts. So these flying vehicles have no need for your typical V8 engine. So you pretty much just have to find parts that look like they belong. And that's exactly what I think I've done with these control arms. It appears to be like it's all part of a suspension system that allows the thrusters to move up and down, side to side. And when the hood is on, they peek out and give it a cool look. And then I put some sort of intake in the center. If you see, since there's no engine, there is a huge gap between the actual mechanical details and the grill in the front. This truck did not originally come with a visor, but this model came with this interesting roof cap. It was basically a roof that went on top of the roof. I turned it into a visor by cutting it in half, then removing a little less than a third from the middle, and then attached the rear section with glue and bolt heads, and then used this little frame assembly in the middle to hold the front on like it's a visor. And it appears like it's maybe retractable or movable. Also added the running lights. In the back, we have a large capacity fuel tank. For many of my early cars, put fuel tanks just to take up some of the space so I wouldn't have to add so many parts. Check out all the linkages back here, pipes, wires, hoses. That there that I'm pointing at is a Mustang taillight trim. Doubles as a small intake. All right, so I'm guilty here. I didn't weather the interior. I built this truck years ago, and I don't know what my mindset was at the time. Should have at least given it a wash. It's got the 3 monitors in the front. It's got 2 shifters and a flight yoke. All right, and I wanted to show, when I removed the fenders, the original fenders, it left chunk out of the side here of the cab on both sides. So put a little heat plate in there that maybe protects the side from all the heat off the thrusters. These parts for exhaust, some kind of propulsion, and the undercarriage, a ton of Gundam parts. And again, I probably should have done the weathering a bit more on this. I just figure most of the time you're not looking under the truck. And I do like to put stuff under them, but that's so you can see them from a side profile. I don't dwell on the undercarriage too much. You know, you see some of the details from the side profile, and that's enough for me. And last but not least, I did make a bed cover out of the old truck bed. It's reversed. I turned it around and made some sides for it and some vents. And I do display it with the truck bed cover off. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like and subscribe button. It'll help the channel grow. And if you want to see the next video in the Origin series, please click the link above. Thanks for watching.
Okay, let's go.